Okay, dear. So, okay, yeah. So, what I wanted to say in the previous slide or previous session, that so this is responsible to get me a row. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we take that specific row and then we try to get every element here in the columns. So this is looping through the rows. This is looping through the columns. And so this STD now will carry every single student in the column. So we will assign a student here in STD, and then we get his GPA, we add him to the sum. And then we loop again. Then this loop will get him the second column and assign him to STD. And then after we get the sum, we come to the loop again. So it will take maybe the last element here on the column number 2. And then we assign the student value, the element inside here, which is a student. We assign him to STD and we do the same, get the GPA and add to the sum. So when you are more senior, then you will get used to that. But it is fine that you find the other one is more easier. This is less code to write. So, and less chance to write the mistakes in the I and J and numbering and indexing. But okay, if you are more comfortable with the other, is fine. So, okay, both of them do the same thing, right? So now we go back here. So we want to find the best student. So what is the best student? Return the name of the student which has the highest GPA. Again, we discover that the 2D array, it is a way for us to get a real information. If you think about it, in the game that you are playing, that you are enjoying, this is the code that is going to run there. If you are playing against many other players, if you have 10, 20 players over a network, so how the hell the computer is going to rank and arrange the top players? So it is a simple code like that. So this will, so they will create a 2D array or even 1D array that carry all the players inside. And then every player have a name, have a score, have maybe some history data, information about him inside. And then we are able to get the best one by just getting his score. So it would be a class that is called player, and he have a score inside. And then by looping through all the scores, we are able to tell, oh, Ashvin is the best player so far. So, or maybe somebody else. So we will see how this we are able to bring it. Okay. So now you saw the sum, and the sum will help you get the average. Now have a look at this, please, and tell me what do you understand from here. This is the code to get the best scoring student.
Okay.
What is clear and what is difficult to understand from here?
No, I mean it makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So what about this?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just checking which one has the higher
GPA. And then he assigned. So
Correct.
okay. So this assigning is okay for you? Is fine to you? Understandable?
Yeah.
And this?
Yeah. No, that I don't understand.
Okay, so he compare the GPA So this
Yeah.
is a student and this is a different student. So we're comparing them, right? So
Yeah.
so he would decide which student has the best GPA. So if the new student that we are getting from here have a higher GPA than our best, that we use that to store, to keep track of who is the best. So we assume that this is normal if we are searching for a minimum or maximum. So we always have to make a variable and we assign him to the first position here randomly, not randomly, but just this is a normal fixed algorithm that we always put. So always we put, if even if you're searching for a max or minimum, so always you will put some initial value here. This initial value, typically we like to put it the first element in the 2D array or the first element in a 1D array. So that will be index 0. So always we will do like that. So this is clear. We choose something that is as a start initial. We don't know if this seat is actually the best or not. We don't know. We just initialize it to that. Okay, so this is our best student. So we would like always to put the one with the higher GPA here. So every time we do this looping, we compare. So if we discover that the new student, which is coming from here, from the looping, is better than the one we stored his initial value, so we will immediately get the student and store it here. So we get that new student, we store it here. So this best will always keep track who is the best student that have a high GPA so far. Okay, so by looping and doing this comparison in all, then we will have an object of a data type student that carry the student that, or have a link to the student who have the highest GPA. But again, we are not interested in actually returning the student himself. We are interested in returning the name of the student. So the name of the student comes from a method that go and print his private variable. There is a private variable inside the student class that's called name. And to access that, we just use, we call the getName. Same like when we call getGPA, that get us the private GPA value. So we also use the getName to get the name of the student. And we are saying that we are returning a string. We are not returning a student out of best student. We are returning only a string. So we return his name only. So we just give the people his name. We say, oh, Ashvin is the best student so far. That's it. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So please, before we dig more, I still want you to build that code, please. So you have to build the student. See, I think you have already a student class. Am I right?
Yeah.
So can you please build now this sitting chart? Confirm that you have a student class, please, and build this sitting chart similar to the way that you built the student class before.
Yeah.
Last time when I used to play games, maybe 20 years ago, we have some tools that we downloaded from hackers' websites at that time, and normally that was Russian hackers. And then these tools actually sometimes play adjust, or yeah, I can say adjust. So if I am playing, normally I like to play strategy games with wars and tanks and so on. So if I want a limited supplies, so I mean I download that 1xe file, which I don't recommend that you do now, and then it increases the amount of supplies. Do you have this kind of thing now?
Of course we do, but it's frowned upon lah, and you can get banned if you use them in like a game.
Okay.
It's called hacking lah.
Yes, it's hacking. Yes. So do you know what this really does?
it goes into the game file and it changes
things
or
inside, right?
something like
So
yeah,
so
so to
so
allow you
okay, yeah, okay.
yeah
So there is certain variables inside your code of the game that that actually keep track of your score and maybe your supplies. So
yeah
your supplies again, it's just a variable inside the memory. So if you have supplies here as a variable name, so it go sometimes change inside the memory. So it change inside the value inside your memory that is related to your supplies or even to your score. It can give you maybe a ability. Last time, if your tanks get beaten so fast and then they are destroyed, maybe it give you tanks that is not destroyed at all. Whatever hits it
yeah
takes, it doesn't destroy. So it will keep always the score to 100%. So whatever hits
yeah
it get is still there. So
yeah
yeah, yalla. Okay. Did you start writing the class?
no, not yet. Right.
Okay.
Just one second, sir. I could have started.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me